Welcome to Game of Roses. I'm Chad Colchin, and I'm going to be breaking down the teaser that came out at the end of the second episode of Golden Bachelorette that's going to tell us all about what we can expect to see in the third episode next week. Let's take a look at what we've got here.
Coming up next week.
Dodgeball. Now, this is what we call at Game of Roses an athletic endeavor. These types of group dates happen all the time in every season. Generally speaking, they also usually have what we call forced violence. These are, if you remember the rugby date, even from just Gen Trans season, but maybe the most violent one of all time was in Hannah Brown's season 15 of Bachelorette, where Luke Parker folded Luke Stone in half on the rugby field. Sometimes they do tackle football. Sometimes they do demolition derby. Hannah Brown in Colton Underwood's season had to fight with sticks, I believe, in Vietnam, or they did some kind of kickboxing. So I doubt they're going to have a forced violence group date for these guys, but nonetheless, they are making them do the athletic endeavor. We got some fans there. These are people who found the applications online and applied and got selected to be in the audience. I'm sure that the producers gave them these little pom-poms and posters and stuff to hold up.
Brains think we're...
Okay, let's see who this is here. Can we slow this down? Let me try and rewind this. Let me see if I can.
Brains think we're 25, and we're 25, and our bodies are like, no, you're not.
All right, so it's like Mark. Oh my God.
Our brains think we're
I couldn't tell who that was.
25.
It looks like Jordan, Mark.
And our bodies are like, no,
Obviously, Keith is on the group date.
you're not.
Everybody's getting injured. Oh, Jesus.
Like you may have tweaked the hamstring
Looks like Chalk tweaks his hamstring.
there. It's amazing.
Look how everybody else just kind of wrote their name like normal on the back of their shirts. Look at Chalk as like, look at that. Just the letters as thick as possible, big and bold. Chalk number 76.
What we'll do for a pretty lady.
Okay. Now this is what? Excuse me. Who's that? Who is that? Who is that? I'm pretty sure that's Wayne Newton. Just from, I know this is kind of a pixelated, shitty looking thing. I'm almost positive that is Wayne Newton, who we saw lead a group date on Becca Kufrin's season 14 of Bachelorette, where all the guys had to go to his house in Las Vegas and write different lyrics to Donka Shane.
Wayne freaking Newton. It's unbelievable.
Okay, now just for fun, have you ever heard of a song called Donka Shane?
Yes.
Yeah. And it goes, Donka Shane, darling Donka Shane.
So I'm assuming this is now in Las Vegas, if that is indeed Wayne Newton, and I believe I'm right. This is Pascal. Looks like he's getting that
Pascal
date.
makes me feel young and kind of sexy.
Yeah.
He has A's.
Okay, so this is what we call a pretty woman date, where the player gets to go on a kind of luxury shopping spree and eat at a fine restaurant, perhaps get a private concert by Wayne Newton. That had to have been Wayne Newton. God, it looked just like him. I like that Pascal is going shirtless under the sparkly vest here. It's a bold choice. Suits his play style very well.
Zest for life. Thank you. I'm actually
Who is this? This is another one-on-one. Jonathan, maybe? It looks like they're going to be riding around in the Calabasas Hills on horseback. So that's what we call an animal husbandry date.
on the top of the world right now.
I've missed you.
Chalk, get a kiss.
I'm already forming strong feelings for some of these men.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to Las Vegas. Looks like they're going to pull up to a private jet and get flown to Las Vegas for the pretty woman date, where I'm telling you, I think that's Wayne Newton.
This is a fairy tale. How can you not
That's
fall
Vegas.
in love?
They are 100% in Vegas. Here's the first we're seeing of Gary. This looks like, is that a cell phone tower? That's a 5G cell phone tower. But these poles in the background make me think that's for a net. This makes me believe they're at some kind of a baseball field. This might be the after party for the dodgeball group date. That's what I'm getting the vibes here from that.
Looking into her eyes, I felt that soul
That is Guy getting a kiss.
connection.
I haven't had these
I think
feelings
that's
since
Jonathan.
my husband.
Yes. So he's got to get the other one-on-one, I would guess. Yeah, if they're riding horses, that's the other one.
People
this shot, they've shown it multiple times. I absolutely love it. I will say this about Golden Bachelorette. Bachelorette and Bachelor are trying to like up their game in the way that they shoot the show, how it looks. Golden Bachelor and Golden Bachelorette are killing it. Like, this is beautiful. And they have another shot, which I don't think is actually in this promo, where she's walking out next to an infinity pool, and it looks like she's walking on clouds.
Keep asking me, are you 100% ready to have love in your life? But I'm not really.
Okay. This is the false jeopardy. They do this to every lead. There basically has to be a moment when the audience is being told they may walk away from the show altogether. This whole thing may go up in smoke, but it's not going to. Rest assured, it never does, except for Claire Crawley. But it wasn't because she was going to leave the show. She found her guy. So the producers always try to drum up something like this in about the third or fourth episode, where the Bachelorette either has to come in and lay down the law. If you're not serious, if you're not here for the right reasons, take a hike, because I came here to find a husband and I'm serious about it. It's either that or it's this. This is overwhelming. I don't think it's working for me. I may have to leave. And then she's going to have a conversation with somebody. And I assume that's going to be Gary Turner.
Because John was a huge part of my life. And I'm sorry.
She probably wants to walk away.
So that's Gil. Is this after the rose ceremony or something? Why are they all dressed in... I'm not sure when this would potentially take place. Maybe before the rose ceremony or after the rose ceremony we just saw maybe in episode 2. But that is Gil talking to, I think that's Pascal. And they said they were going to cut Gil out of the show because of the restraining order that has now surfaced.
Have you considered the
And then they bring out Gary Turner.
possibility that your guy is not here?
And so they send him in with that line. That is not something Gary Turner is making up off the top of his head. The producers bring him in and say, go in there and say, have you considered the possibility that your future husband is not in that room? He is sent in specifically and only to put her on edge emotionally so that we can have this false jeopardy, wondering if, oh my God, maybe the show's going to end. Unfortunately, we know ABC has 10 episodes scheduled, so we got to keep going.
It's all coming up next week on The Golden Bachelorette.
Well, there's a lot to look forward to here. That dodgeball group date is going to be fantastic. Everybody's going to be coming away from that with some IFIs, injury, fear, or illness plays. It looks like we're going to get to see Pascal get that pretty woman date and Jonathan get his animal husbandry date. And then we are going to get to see Gary Turner show back up to plant that idea in Joan's mind that maybe this whole thing isn't working. Maybe you should step away from it. And I'm sure he'll have some kind of cautionary tale about rushing into something with Teresa Nist in the first season of Golden Bachelor that obviously didn't work out. They got divorced only a couple of months after their live televised ABC marriage. But it looks like it's going to be a good episode, and I'm curious to see again. We saw Gil in this teaser. I'm curious if they're going to uphold what they said about trying to minimize him in the edit because of the restraining order. But I'm looking forward to watching it next week. I hope you will watch it with us as well.